I know burnout from the inside out, and probably more intimately than I would ever like to. But in this episode, I'm going to share with you what I wish I had known sooner. When I got my first full-time salaried job, I pushed through because I was in fight or flight. I pushed through my first salaried job until my body said enough. Yoga therapy was my way home, but more importantly, it taught me that self-care isn't indulgence, it's necessary. It's prevention. It's preservation of my life. It's the boundary that keeps me in my body, not out of it. Burnout is something that most of us carry quietly. Or maybe it even feels like a badge of honor. Being too busy to take care of ourselves it's not just tiredness. It's the slow leak of your life force. In this episode, we are going to talk about burnout, and I'm going to explain how it works when you're so burnt out. And then in this episode, I'm going to explain to you how I burned out and how I found my way back, and give you some things about what I had known sooner. Burnout shows up when your nervous system has been running on overdrive for too long. Like you are pushing to the max when your body is whispering no. You're literally taking care of all the things first before taking care of yourself. The saying is not filling your own glass, giving from that overflow, and instead just draining your own glass. I know this because I've been there, and multiple times, so I am teaching you from my own experience. Here's the thing. Burnout isn't a sign that you're weak. It's a signal that your body is wise. It's saying something needs to change. In my last burnout, I was running an amazing Hatha yoga program right during the middle of the pandemic. We were going 5 months straight, and my body was saying, look, we cannot do this. This is too much. And especially since that same year, I had just gotten vaccinated. 2020 put me in like a whole loop. I was totally traumatized by dying, and yet I pushed through. I was trucking through, trying my best, saying yes when I wanted to say no, and my body was just deteriorating. My mental health was nowhere to be seen. And finally, everything dropped. I had to let all the plates drop. I was spinning all these plates, and they finally all fell to the floor and shattered. Sometimes I think burnout is my life tool of choice. I feel like when I burn out, then the plates drop and then I can start fresh again. And I think sometimes that can be the cycle that we put ourselves in, because we tend to then see all the things that cause the burnout as the problem. Like it was Hatha yoga or my husband or the pandemic, and see all of these external things as what caused the burnout. But in reality, the first lesson I wish I had learned was that it was not all these things. It was me. It was my relationship with saying no. It was me believing that I needed to be perfect, and in order to do that, I had to take on all these things and not ask for help. So that was the first thing that I wish I had known sooner. That when my body is saying no, when my mind is like, no, you should not be doing that, that I need to listen. And that can be the most important lesson you take from this. And if you don't take anything else, if your body is saying, hey, maybe today we shouldn't do that. And they're like, but I promised so and so, or, oh, I already paid for it. I feel like then you're just vetoing your body's wisdom. And that's not something you should be doing. Unfortunately, no. The second thing I wish I had known sooner is that taking breaks is a really good way to ensure that everything stays running. So, for example, even if you have a full plate, you can ask for help. You can take a break and say, this time I'm just gonna, you guys figure it out. And really, I really should have done that. I should have said, you guys know what? You guys know what? You know what, guys? This Saturday, I'm going to sit it out. I'm going to let you guys handle it. But yes, number 2 is asking for help when you need it and taking breaks as often as you need. I used to believe that self-care was indulgence. Like, I felt like it was frivolous and a luxury for just rich people, that I had to grind and basically grind myself into the ground. But I realized that doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me to grind all the time. And so now that I'm taking more constant breaks that are actually healthy and good for my body and mind and spirit, not only am I finding time to do all the things, I am much happier and much more relaxed. Number 2 is make sure you take breaks and enjoy the journey. The last one, I think, is like expert level, but it's really about listening to what my real, true needs are. And it's kind of similar to the first one, but now I will make time, like during my lunar cycle reflections, to really think about what is it that I'm doing and does it actually move my future forward. I think being able to slow down in this way and check in, not only am I more able to take breaks because you can see what the list is to do and what the actions are, you can be like, I have time to do that. I mean, we have 24 hours in a day, and it's been a really good thing to reflect on what needs to be done and slot them accordingly. Like recording all these episodes before my trip to France. So number 3 is really taking time to reflect and plan on what you're doing. That is the ultimate tool for burnout prevention, because if you're just running like a chicken with its head cut off and doing all the things, then everything is on the same priority level. And it's not, because there are things that actually move the needle forward, and there are lots of things that don't. So being able to distinguish between the two makes it easier for you to stay on the path. And then as you're on the path, you can take breaks and then get back on when you're not tired anymore. So if you are also prone to burnout, which I believe every human being in the world, feels like they're not enough and that they should be running like a machine, you are not a machine and you deserve breaks. You should come and join me for my small group yoga therapy workshops here at Crenshaw Yoga and Dance in Los Angeles. Together, we'll focus on slowing down, listening to our bodies. That way, when you build that resilience on the mat, you can also do it off the mat. We will rebuild safety back into our bodies through breath, mindful movement, and gentle accountability. The group itself becomes your nervous system anchor through co-regulation, and now you're no longer doing it all alone. And that itself jumpstarts the healing. Healing burnout isn't about doing more self-care. It's about learning to pause before your body forces you to.